Thy will be done, Lord, each and every day. May be with me as I do this show with an audience. Help me to just be myself. Go out there and just help me to focus, prepare, and be a light for you, Lord Jesus. Love you. Amen. Roll Tide. Yeah, yeah, yo. Whatever. Let's get the show started, people. Woo! Hold on 1 second. What is going on, everybody? It is Sunday night, and I keep forgetting to do this. I figured out, again, I mentioned the other night on one of my shows. There. I'll do this here. Oh, yeah. Better lighting. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media, coming at you live here on a Sunday night, solo style, unprofessional sports show. It's a one-man show from now on. I mean, that's really all I can say is that. But the show still goes on here at Ballard Sports Media, of course, and not going to let anybody on. We don't do that here. But at least for the unprofessional sports show, which it is the unprofessional sports show, got some good stuff for you today. What a crazy Saturday for college football. I really don't know where to start. You had the whiteout at Happy Valley, Penn State last night, beating Auburn in a great matchup. I really don't know where to begin with it. But before that, I want to go ahead and look at the Power 5 rankings. No, Chess didn't quit, guys. It's just solo style tonight. He's just out of town. He's not on the show. But he told me I could fill in and just take care of it. So, anyway. First off, let's go ahead and look at the rankings that were put out this morning on ESPN, the AP poll, which, of course, it's practically meaningless, but it does give you some sort of idea of what you could see in a few weeks when we get the first playoff rankings. And who would have thought, man, the season that we have had so far for college football, who would have thought that we would have had this? Because you have here, let me change something here. There. You have Alabama at number 1. Okay, we expect that. 3-0 Georgia undefeated at number 2. Okay. Oregon's up there. Oklahoma's up there. Iowa's up there. Penn State moves up 4 spots. Clemson keeps dropping. I mean, I'm just going to tell you straight, Clemson's not any good. They're not. They got talent. But this is probably one of Dabo's worst teams that I've seen in a while. That's a whole nother topic for a video in and of itself later on, maybe. Ohio State only drops down 1 spot. They got to win this weekend. It's chaos. We saw some upsets. 15 BYU moves up 8 spots. They're undefeated. Notre Dame stays put. Florida stays put. How does Florida stay put like that? Well, I'll get to that game in a second. Because I have my own thoughts personally on the Alabama-Florida game we're going to get into in a second. Notre Dame stays put. Ole Miss goes up 4 spots. BYU moves up. Arkansas. Coastal, not losing, but drops down a spot. Michigan moving their way up. Auburn only drops 1 spot in the polls due to the loss to Penn State. Kansas State was never ranked. They're in there at 3-0. UCLA, I mean, what can I say? This was a great weekend. We had some good games. OU Nebraska was close, 23-16. Nebraska and Scott Frost, not exactly what we expected it to be overall. But anyway, Auburn, again, only dropped a spot, which I don't blame that. It's a whiteout at Happy Valley. You get the crowd riled up. This game probably could have went to overtime a couple times. I think it was a tie game. At like one point, you gotta realize something though too. And again, we're gonna get into that game in a second and some others. This is I don't know what to say about these. Ole Miss is in the top 15. I don't remember the last time we saw that. It's been a few years actually. I think hey, you go back 2014, 2015, they were ranked pretty high in there. They were having a good run. They beat Alabama. They were dominating opponents left and right, it seemed like. Iowa State took a loss to Iowa. That's how Iowa got up so high in the ranks. But Iowa State very much. I mean, these one-loss opponents, right? Florida lost to Alabama. They still control their own destiny. Ohio State still controls their own destiny. Very much so. Clemson, of course, with the loss to Georgia, they probably are the best one-loss team. Ohio State lost to Oregon last Saturday, 35-28. They got a pretty good road ahead, assuming that they can compete and keep their composure and keep themselves in check. They got a good path. Overall, when I look at this is what I want. This is what we should want, at least as college football fans. You should want to see variety, chaos, right? Because what's your regular average top four? Let's be honest. It's Bama. We see them in there. Clemson, they're almost outside the top 10. Oklahoma's in there. Ohio State's normally in there. Georgia's normally 5 or 6. I mean, it's crazy. Oregon's in the top 4 still. Oregon and Oklahoma trade spots, which I don't understand that necessarily. I mean, does it really matter? Ultimately, A&M 3-0. Notice this here. And records don't normally dictate rankings. I want y'all to look right here. The top 8 seeds, top 8 ranked teams are all 3-0. So, do I agree with these rankings? I don't know if Alabama should be number 1. Here's where we get into that. I don't know if Alabama should be number 1 in the polls. You could sit there and say all you want to. Oh, but their defense is so elite. It's better than what it's been in recent years. Look, say whatever you want to about the game yesterday. I agree. Tough environments in college football. I think when I look at this game, Alabama needed this close game to Florida. They did. And Florida has a great team this year. It is not at all what it was last season. With Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts gone and some defensive guys, Emory Jones, he didn't look too bad. This was a close game down to the wire, and ultimately it wasn't a game-winning field goal. It actually was at the start of the fourth quarter, more so towards the end. But the fact that the Crimson Tide defense got together in a huddle, and they went out there in the fourth quarter and they said, you know what? Listen, we are playing our worst game of the year. It could be a lot worse. I mean, they gave up 48 to Ole Miss last year, which I still believe that to be a factor of what Lane Kiffin's doing offensively. I really think he's building that offense, especially this year with Snoop Connor and Matt Corral being 2 of the top guys on that offense for him. But I think they look back at the game, and if you're Alabama, you look at last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, and you say, okay, Florida, we outscored them 21-3 in the first quarter. Okay. We got shut out the second quarter. Why? Well, first off, Florida did exactly what I told them to do, or said what they were going to do, which is have Emory Jones just scramble and run around in the pocket. They're going to eat up some time in the clock. They kept Alabama and Bryce Young off the field and on the sideline. That's what they did. So you take that into account. And, yeah, of course, Florida's defense showed up at times in this game, of course. I mean, it's not like they don't completely have zero defense. It's inconsistent at times. But, this game was much needed, first off, to see where Bama's at. Because as a fan, I'm not judging them based off Miami, especially considering Miami hasn't even looked good this season so far. And Mercer, 48-11 or 14, whatever. Really? You're going to judge them based off a Mercer win like that? They haven't been tested. They were finally tested, and Florida was too. Of course, you're going to get tested against Alabama. I mean, Bama is the standard in college football. I'm not saying that to brag. Let's just call it what it is, what we've seen in college football in recent years. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles everywhere. Where can we use them? I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but Capital One lady, we don't need you. Anyway. Bama got tested yesterday, and I think the Tide need that. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that, yes, this team is great, but it's not what it was last year. We've already known that to begin with. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, Alabama is great, but not championship great. Their defense is. But I still think we're in an offensive era in football now. Think about when we talk about all these recruits. We're seeing more and more of these 5-star elite quarterbacks and these pass-catching receivers, explosive route-running guys that we see coming. I just think we're in an offensive era now. You have to throw the ball. You have to score. And Bama can do that, but I just don't see it at the level that maybe it should be. And I don't want to be sitting here judging it because they put 48 on Mercer. No disrespect to Mercer at all. But, I mean, for Alabama, are you really going to sit there and judge that game? Or are you going to more so look at that they got an early test in the season against Florida where I honestly thought they'd score maybe 38 or 40 points? They only scored 31. They won by 2. You won by 2 points. They were shut out in the second quarter. They got off to a great start. 21-3 at the end of the first quarter. Okay, that makes plenty of sense. But it descaled throughout the game. It did that. That's fair. That's what happened. Bryce Young himself only threw 3 touchdowns. 3. They had 4 in total. Brian Robinson carried 1 in for a couple yards. So where are the Tide at? Right? This is not Saban's best team. That was last year, in my opinion, unless you want to really go back far and look at 2009 or whatever. So anyway, what's up, Goose? What's up, Uncle Lou, Nate? Tiger Basket Robin. Here's the thing. Chess did not get fired. He didn't. He's just not on the show with me tonight. So we looked at the rankings. Again, the top 10 is Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Oklahoma, Iowa, Penn State, A&M, Cincinnati, Clemson, and Ohio State, the top 10. I told you, the season was weird. It's already weird. But again, we're not even a whole month into Power 5 play yet. We're just getting started. So, but you got that Florida game, 31-29. Alabama survives, by the way. Survival. It is. Um, let me share screen. Let's look at some of these games because also this was a good one Friday night. How about UCF Louisville? Gus Malzahn hired at UCF this offseason, getting fired at Auburn. He comes in, okay, put up 35 on Louisville. It was literally a back and forth shootout. It came down to this right here, a pick six in the final seconds by Jalen Alderman, the corner. And holy cow. It was insane. It was back and forth, literally. I mean, it was UCF, Louisville, UCF, Louisville, Louisville, UCF, Louisville, UCF, Louisville, UCF, and so on. What was the key play? Well, that late pick six, but also Louisville led in time of possession. They had more total yards, 501, just barely passing 500 yards in this game, which I think for them is really great. Both teams got a turnover, of course. Louisville led in first downs 24-22 against UCF. Jalen Mitchell is a really good running back that Louisville has. Malik Cunningham, I think, is a really good, talented quarterback. But again, I mean, these are two teams right here that are, in a way, on the same level. I mean, they're outsiders. They're not playoff contenders. They're not, let alone not really top 25 contenders. UCF was a few years ago, but they're not really anymore. So but when I look at this game here, Gus Malzahn gets off to a 2-1 start now. Won 2 games at home. Takes his first loss on the road. It's a good start for Gus. It's not too bad. Louisville is also 2-1. Both of these teams very much still controlling their own destinies. They both got only one loss. It's I mean, I don't want to say their playoff hopes are still alive because let's just be honest, neither of those teams are getting in the playoffs unless chaos really ensues. But I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. So you have this game, just back and forth overall. UCF falling short on the road against Louisville. Maryland by 3 over Illinois. Not too bad. Overall, I mean, I'm not going to go through all these games. I'm going to get to 2 more. I'm going to get to this Clemson game, and then we're getting to the Penn State-Auburn game. What is this? Oh, Clemson's this program up and coming with Dabo. Look at this. Look what they've done. They've won 2 title games against quarterback Alabama. Clemson is terrible this year. Terrible. 14-8 over Georgia Tech. Their stadium's not that tough. I get that, but I mean, still at home against Georgia Tech, you only score 14. Georgia Tech had more first downs. Clemson had a turnover. They had less yardage. Georgia Tech had more time of possession. What is this? Will Shipley, 3-yard run. Field goal for Georgia Tech. Will Shipley, 3-yard run. Field goal, Georgia Tech. Safety by Georgia Tech. Safety for Georgia Tech. Will Shipley of Clemson fumbled. I mean, look, I get Clemson's got young players. But with everything that we've been talking about, Clemson, look, they 44-16. Bama and Clemson did this. They blew out. They're up and coming, and Dabo's building a dynasty with Clemson. No, he's not. This is the worst Clemson team that I have seen in a while. Let me take this one off real quick. Let's get serious. I'm going to go off on a rant here. This is hilarious. Let me just say this. Clemson might win the ACC this year. I don't even want to sit here and say that's a given at this point because holy cow, 14-8 over Georgia Tech. What? Clemson's up and coming with Dabo. Trevor Lawrence. Oh, look. What can't Trevor Lawrence do as a quarterback? He's the best recruit, generational talent. Clemson's not going away. They'll be back after that loss to LSU in the title game. That was just all LSU. It was their year. Then they make it last year, get blown out by Ohio State in the playoffs. Alabama's year, of course. Now here they are. They lose Trevor Lawrence. They lose ETN. They bring guys back. They bring back Justin Ross. DJ played some good games last year. Had to start a couple times because Lawrence was out due to COVID. But I'm sitting here. I'm going into the season. And I'm saying, okay, Clemson might be the team this year. They might be pretty good. They're going to win the ACC. Clemson's going to shake off the Ohio State loss last year in the Sugar Bowl. They don't have Trevor Lawrence. They don't have ETN anymore. They don't have, whoever. I think they lost other guys like AJ Terrell or whoever, corner. And I'm sitting here, and I'm hearing everything about their defense. Don't get me wrong. Their defense is amazing. But then I hear all this stuff about DJ. And don't get me wrong. I think, first off, their O-line is garbage. Georgia exposed that. You know why Georgia won defensively is because Clemson didn't have an O-line. And because, got to give Georgia credit, they got great defense this year as well. But, you want to talk about not having an offensive line? What is going on in Clemson, South Carolina? And I don't want to hear this. We have players out or hurt and they're all fresh. I don't want to hear that. Bama's got freshman receivers playing really well. Freshman. Trevor Lawrence won a championship as a freshman quarterback a few years. I don't want to hear this inexperienced freshman. You have an off season. You bring guys in from high school that should know how to play the game. I'm not here to criticize anybody. I'm just saying, I don't want to hear excuses from the people or a coach or anything. I don't want to hear that. You have, you bring these players in, right? Let's say you bring in a 5-star running back. He's a freshman, and he's like your go-to guy because you really don't have much depth. Okay, he's the best thing since sliced bread. He's this generational running back. He can hurdle, he can spin, he can juke you out. He's very fast and electric on the field, right? He's as fast as Usain Bolt. Probably not that fast, let's be honest. But he's the best thing. But it's not working out. Everything we hyped him up to be, he's had his training, his offseason, he's fully healthy. Let's throw that in there. Let's say he's fully healthy. He ain't got no ACL or nothing. He goes out there, and he's not having a great game. O-line's struggling a bit. Oh, he's just a freshman. He's inexperienced. Then why did we hype him up all offseason? Jeff says, Ballard, our receivers were having trouble getting open Saturday. I was shocked. I'm shocked and I'm worried about that. But Clemson, getting back to Clemson. They're not a bad program. I just think they're on a really bad year this year. I think their resume is terrible. I think that the Georgia game with they only scored 3. They didn't even get a touchdown against Georgia. I'm also looking at the comments here. Pigskin Pete, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Clemson scores as often as Ballard does on 10. They score. It's worse than that. It's so bad, Pete. What are you talking about? I score better on 10. Just slightly. Good to see you in here, Pete. I love you, bro. I love all you guys. I don't mean to get off on a whole rant about Clemson, but that's crazy. I don't get it. I would agree with that, Mike. Georgia has the best defense. Yeah, okay, that's fair. But with everything, DJ was the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. The offense is bad. He's the quarterback. He's the leader. This guy was supposed to win the Heisman Trophy in the offseason. This is insane, people. I don't know what to say anymore. I can't keep going on this. Retarded. 14-8, though. Anyway, there's been plenty of games. I'm going to recap one more. We're going to get into this whiteout Penn State game. And then I'm going to bring some more on for you guys. We got some other topics here. Hold on, let me find it. 28-20, Penn State and Auburn. I hope Harris Highlights is listening. Please do a game to remember on this one. This was insane. Bo Nix, 21-37, 185 yards. I don't think Bo Nix is bad. Their offensive line is a little bit depleted. Sean Clifford, though, compared 28 of 32 for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Wow. This is incredible. This was a game worth staying up for last night, honestly. What is happening here? Hold on. So here's the scoring summary. Anders Carlson, not even really halfway through the first quarter, you see here. 9:37 left. You get a 45-yarder. Okay. Jahan Dotson, the best receiver Penn State has this year, gets a 4-yard touchdown pass. It basically was one of those overall shootouts, but low-scoring shootouts. I mean, literally, it was back and forth. One team scored up until the fourth quarter when there was a touchdown by Auburn with less than 6 minutes left in the third. Tank Bigsby ran it in. And then, of course, right there at the start of the fourth, Anders Carlson with a 43-yarder. What was the game changer? I don't know, other than both teams had a turnover each. Penn State just had more yards overall. Hold on. You look at this here. This is the final drive. Bo Nix, incomplete, incomplete. Right. He tried to get a final playoff. It was 2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line, deep in his own territory. He needed a big play, overthrown. Great coverage by Penn State ultimately, and they get the win. This was this was incredible to see. I enjoyed watching this game. Was it as entertaining as I thought it would be? Honestly, there was some great defense in this game. I really think that there was some key factors, a pick or two, a missed field goal. Actually, I think there was a blocked field goal at one point, I think, by Penn State. They blocked the field goal on the line a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. But ultimately, when I see this game, this was the game of the week. It definitely lived up to the hype that we expected it to be. At least what I expected. But anyway, I thought this was a really great game. Both teams played well, and Both teams control their own destiny. Auburn is not out. They could run the table, and they could still go on to win the West. They got Georgia at Jordan Hare. They got Alabama at Jordan Hare. I think maybe don't they have a trip to LSU or whatever? LSU's not even that good. But this was the first test for both of these teams to see where they were, and I tell you what, they both got great defenses. I don't think it was that the offenses did bad. I think the defenses did good, and ultimately it just ended up going in favor of the whiteout and the home team and the Nittany Lions. So overall, I think the game did kind of live up to the hype that we expected it. So we'll see. But anyways, so there's that. Practically got through everything I wanted to with the with college football. But how about this? Haven't seen much of it, but hold on. How about this new segment here? Smack Talk Showdown. Chess and I are really big WWE fans, and I have some big WWE news for you guys. We talk Smack Talk Showdown. You have the big event 1 week from tonight. It'll be on Peacock, 8 p.m. Eastern. There's this Extreme Rules. Basically, anything's legal. Right? Becky Lynch is back. I don't know where she was, but she's been gone for quite some time. And they got 6 matches. Let me share this with you. Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair for the Women's SmackDown Championship. Damian Priest and Sheamus for the WWE US Championship. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Oh, this is going to be fun. WWE Raw Women's Championship. And how about this? We just had a Universal Championship at SummerSlam with John Cena and Roman Reigns. But Finn Balor, who should have had that opportunity at SummerSlam until John Cena came in. Well, actually, no. It started out, if you go back and watch, who was it? Baron Corbin got the contract, tried to sign it. John Cena comes in, takes him out, signs the contract. We get all that. Finn Balor is going to get his opportunity, and he's really good. Right? He wants his shot at Roman Reigns. He's going to get it. The WWE Universal Championship. You have a tag team matchup. Usos, Jay and Jimmy, who are Roman's cousins, of course. They're all family, whatever, bloodline. They're tied to The Rock in some way. The Street Profits, they're not too bad. Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, they go head-to-head on the SmackDown Tag Team title. So there's that. So anyway, what am I looking forward to the most? I really don't know. Probably that Bianca Belair Becky Lynch match, because Becky Lynch finally returns. Now she's gonna fight. Bianca Belair is probably the best woman wrestler on SmackDown, at least. Very competitive, good character. This is gonna be fun, honestly. But so anyway, you have that, and you have this weird 3-team match. I'm excited for this. So you have this Roman Reigns and Finn Balor, But there's a 3-team match that's happening. The Bloodline, the Usos and Roman Reigns team up and go head to head with Big E. And then you have Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. So you have Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods on one team. And you have Roman and the Usos on the other. Who do I want to win? I don't know. I like Big E. Big E's a character. He's funny, man. New Day's pretty cool. This is tough. I just want to see this be a good match. Ultimately, it's going to be incredible. I can't wait till tomorrow night. I'm telling you, I'm hyped up. So, anyways, I can't even believe I did this stupid show tonight. So Extreme Rules coming up, but we have Raw. This is the main event here. This 3-man tag team match. That's really it. I mean, you could probably expect to see like some Rhea Ripley and some Charlotte Flair in there as well. I'm looking forward to it. And, I'm looking forward to it. And especially next Sunday, too. We have Peacock. We always try to catch what we can. Extreme Rules. Oh, my gosh. Becky Lynch is back fighting. Hold on. Well, there's a few of them, but you got Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. That's like the headliner event. Damian Priest and Sheamus, I mentioned. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Liv Morgan and Carmella, the Usos tag team versus Street Profits. You got Finn Balor and Roman Reigns for the Universal title, which Roman, again, captured at SummerSlam a month ago against John Cena, which was a really awesome match. So, anyway, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's what I got for you guys. Great weekend in college football. I don't even know if I want to. I don't even know where to start with Alabama as a fan. I mean, it was a great game. It was entertaining. It was a good test that they needed. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about that. Great Penn State Auburn game down to the wire. Just incredible to see. A lot of shakeup in the rankings. Everyone's either moving up a spot, or if you lose, you're dropping down big out of the rankings. I mean, it wasn't really anything too exciting like we had the first couple weeks of the season. And again, I mentioned some Smack Talk Showdown here, which is a new segment on this show. It was supposed to be with Chess Hall, but obviously things have changed. 3-man tag team match, Extreme Rules match coming up. You know, you got 3-man tag team. I mentioned the Usos and Roman and everyone tomorrow night on Raw, which you got to remember, too. The Usos and Roman are on Friday Night SmackDown. So, but anyways, that's pretty much it. I guess I could read some comments or whatever, hang out for a bit. Losing my mind. I don't care. I could lose you guys. I don't care. I love all you guys. I mean that. But, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I just try to be me. I know we're all friends and family over here. You know, at the end of the day, watch me or don't watch me. Jeff says, Da Bears. Yeah, I want to look real quick. What happened today in NFL? 21-14, 51 seconds left in before halftime with the Chiefs and the Ravens. Chiefs up. Uh, 30-29 the other night. I think I looked at that maybe on Friday night or something. You had some good games today. Chicago 20-17, Cleveland beating Houston. Houston's taking for a quarter. I guess Spencer Rattler's eligible. I still don't understand that. I think he was early enrollee at Oklahoma, so he had a year, but he redshirted. So I guess technically having 3 years at the school as a quarterback, I mean that's something. But 31-21, Baker Mayfield with 213 passing yards. Nick Chubb ran the ball pretty well, almost not quite 100 yards at 95. Just overall offense. I mean, I can't really say much about any of these games. I mean, Carolina, Carolina 26, New Orleans 7. I was proud for my Tampa Bay Bucks though. Although Matt Ryan was the lead passing guy, I mean, it was just trouble in the red zone. What I saw from the Falcons, they got down there, tried to convert and score, but had a hard time doing that. Thriller in OT. Tennessee wins by 3 in overtime. Derrick Henry, my man, has a 182 rushing yard game. Incredible. Tough loss for the Eagles. A 6-point game. San Francisco 17-11. Just sloppy games today, honestly, if you look at it, quite honestly. So, oops. Anyway, great games in the NFL. So that's really all I got for tonight's show, guys. Again, I hate that it's it's a one-man show now, but it just is what it is. Again, some great games: Auburn, Penn State, Florida, Bama, and some great games in the NFL as well. I'm looking forward to Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. Going to be some good stuff. We got SmackDown on Friday with WWE. We got some other great games up and coming this week in college football. Maybe I could find a game or two. I'm sure we got some big ones that maybe I could do some score predictions and some previews for ultimately here as we get into week 4 of the season. So Georgia and Vandy, Virginia Tech, Richmond. Notre Dame, Wisconsin is going to be a good one. I might keep an eye on LSU and Mississippi State. Not a whole lot of good ones. I mean, we had some good ones this past weekend, but it's all Power 5 on Cupcake. A&M at Arkansas could be interesting. Clemson at NC State could be good, especially considering that Clemson's not doing that good right now. They're really not. Florida State, Louisville. Kentucky at South Carolina. Tennessee at Florida. Oklahoma, West Virginia. Shout out to my man Sippy Sports, by the way. I'm not sure if he's in here, but Bama and Southern Miss playing this Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 my time on the SEC network. I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, damn it. Hold on. So, anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this show. I don't know. I might do a hangout stream tonight after this. I don't know. We'll see. But at least for this Unprofessional Sports Show, I'm Christian Ballard with Ballard Sports Media, doing it solo. Again, things have changed, and but the show, I'm going to try to keep it going still. It lives on here. And again, I love you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media, checking out. Love you guys. Jesus loves you. God bless. Keep your head up. Love you guys. And as always, roll tide roll. We'll see ya. Love y'all.